Boom. And we are live with another episode of the Brownwater Banter podcast. My name is Jared Seymour.
My name is Joey Cates.
And we have a great episode for you today, man. In the studio, we have Captain Brennan Carter with Rough Water Charters, man. He's going to be talking to us about his business. It's the first time we've had somebody come in from Pass Christian, so we're spreading our wings a little bit here on the Gulf Coast far as for who we talk to. But before we jump into that, let's go over the sponsors of the show, man, right out the gate like we always like to do it. You probably heard his name once or twice if you're a fan of the show, and we're going to keep talking about him as long as he keeps supporting us. That's Dr. Robbie Williams.
Which hopefully is a good long time.
Hopefully is a good damn long time. Dr. Robbie Williams over at Southern Magnolia Smiles, man. There's this picture for the people watching the video. You can check them out on Instagram at Southern Magnolia Smiles or on Facebook. They're located right here in Ocean Springs, man, on Washington Avenue. If you're looking for a great local dentist, please go check them out. They've been supporting us for a while now, and we really appreciate it. You can check them out on their regular website as well at southernmagnoliasmiles.com or hit them up at 228-215-1202. Tell them that the Brownwater Banter people sent you, and like Joey said before, he'll give you a free toothbrush and some toothpaste after your visit.
With every visit.
Yeah, it's a really great deal. We're super proud of that. And also here, Hill Tree Marketing, man. This is Jesse Hill and his team that he's put together right here. If you're looking for web design, graphic design, cinematography, photography, aerial cinematography, IT work, this is your guy. He's a local guy. His company is Hill Tree Marketing. Like I said, you can go check him out at hilltreemarketing.com. He's got a list of all on his website, all the businesses locally that he's worked with, and it's some brands I'm sure that you're going to recognize, and you can see the work before you even work with them, man. Or you can jump over to brownwaterbanter.com and see our website, because he did that as well, and we're super impressed with it. Very easy to work with. Stay in contact with him all the time. Anytime we got an issue or something we need to add, like the Sheepshead Showdown, cheap plug right there. Boom. Yeah. He got it added to the website real quick.
We just text him and he does it. It's like
magic. He does it. So we can't say nothing but good things about Jesse. So go check him out if you're in the market for that. Like I say, even if it's just a personal website, small business, whatever, he'll take care of you. So like we mentioned, man, Captain Brennan, man, how's things going over in the past, man? You're the first one to represent from over that way. Tell us what's going on over there.
Man, it's going good over there. Through COVID and everything, we're seeing quite a bit of business. I guess you would say almost as the relief side of it. We're kind of hopefully tailing off of it, and we're seeing a lot
getting back
of business.
to normal.
And just recently, about a week ago, we got into our boat slips. Shaggy's Bar and Grill in the past, man, they hooked us up with some sweet boat slips.
And did we get a picture of that? That's what we should have, because those things look awesome.
Yeah, I got it right here. So boom, let's go ahead right out of the gate. We always we'll flash the boat right there. Tell us what we're looking at. That's the picture that you sent me.
So that's a 27-foot shearwater that I run, and I love it, man. It gets the job done. It's pretty sweet riding boat.
Yeah, and that's the tell us about
that's behind Shaggy's.
Yeah, so that's I guess it'd be to the south of Shaggy's. Whenever you pull up, there's 10 slips right there. So whenever we get on the boat, we're like, hey, meet us at slip number 6. That's my slip.
Okay.
And man, they walk up, we load the boat, we back up, we roll. And then,
so that looks like it's all been I mean, is that brand new or redone?
Yeah, no, that's
all brand new.
Yeah. So man, it's sweet. And then they have some parking behind the bar and grill for other captains and people that are coming to the restaurant.
Yeah.
And they got us a nice cleaning table set up. So man, they've went above and beyond to exceed our expectations of having something nice to bring our clients to.
Did they ever work with y'all as far as if the client wants the fish cooked or something like that? Have y'all ever done any of that before?
Yeah. They bring it upstairs and they'll cook it right away.
That's awesome.
It don't get no fresher than that.
Yeah. No, it doesn't. Yeah. So we get a lot of clients that come in and they're like, hey, we got to fly back tomorrow, or, we're just traveling through, and I'll tell them, hey, look, take some of your fish that you catch and bring it up there, cook it fresh. They'll blacken it, they'll fry it, they'll do all that for you. So it's pretty sweet,
Yeah.
So this Saturday from 6 to 9 p.m., they're actually doing like they're going to be doing a giveaway.
Yeah, I saw the flyer for that. Yeah.
So this weekend, 6 to 9 p.m. on Saturday, they're going to do kind of like a grand opening for the charters. So
sweet. Now, was that there? Did y'all have something there before, or how did this come about?
Yeah. So there was a dock in the front by the boat launches.
Okay.
And then last year it got destroyed by a hurricane.
And that's where most of the past fleet was, I guess?
Okay. That's where pretty much everybody was. And then that got wiped out. So then everybody's just kind of winging it, you know,
tied up to whatever you could tie up
yeah,
to.
where can you run a trip from? You know, that was the hardship. So most of us are over here by Shaggy's, and then there's a couple other charters that are by the yacht club. They're launching their boats and keeping them over there. So
that's a win-win for Shaggy's.
Yeah, dude. That's
they were thinking with their big brain with that for sure.
Yeah,
so have all those people jump off the boat and have cold beverages and bathrooms and everything right there.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, we get a lot of clients that say, you know, this is so much nicer to leave from Pass Christian, and I'm sure that they get the same response from Biloxi and Ocean Springs and Gulfport, because there's civilization there. You know, when you get done fishing, you're not down in, you know, Venice or anywhere like that where you're like, all right,
Hopedale, Delacroix.
Yeah, we're done fishing. Let's go sit here and drink
in a trailer. Stare at each other.
It's funny you say that because we had Joe Allen on just what was that, yesterday, day before, last episode. Yeah. And he makes that same point, you know, whether you're talking about Biloxi or Pass Christian, there's a lot more to do after a charter trip, right? You still got all kind of restaurants and nightlife and everything you can experience if you come.
It's usually in Louisiana, you're roughing it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You pack what you're going to bring, and then you don't have any nightlife or lights or electricity or anything like that.
So I'll say my personal thoughts on that is, you know, that kind of fishing is for the diehard fishermen.
Right.
You know, Pass Christian, Gulfport, Biloxi, that's more of a family oriented, so to speak. You know, we leave and we go fish in, we fish the artificial reefs that are local. We fish the barrier islands. We can go to Louisiana Marsh. It really just depends on what the fish are doing, where they're at.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to get into, because I know a lot of the guys over here, when we leave, we're going to go either to Ship or Horn, and y'all are mostly focused Gene Taylor, Cat Island, Biloxi Marsh, right?
Yes. So there's a lot that plays into it.
Yeah.
You can pretty much map it out every year. This year it's kind of been a little late. First off, we got to chase clean water.
Okay.
It's always a challenge, man. It's so hard. And then you know, wherever the bait's going to be at.
Right.
Whenever summer starts coming around, they start heading out on the edge of the marsh to fish, and it's typically very, very good. And then actually right now around September, we're kind of in our transition period. Our redfish are staying outside to start their little deal out there, and then our trout are moving in the marsh. More, you know, so it's we'll start catching more fish inside.
November and December is usually some great time for trout fishing, especially closer in, right?
And then so we got fish that are moving in right now. Local reefs, you know, we'll be fishing our local reefs. So it's nice. We won't have to run as far. But you got to keep up with them. You know, it's with the weather, it can rain one day and then bam, fish are gone. They've moved.
That's what we talk about on this show all the time. People were like, where's the fish bite? And I'm like, dude, I ain't fishing a month. I couldn't tell you. You know what I'm saying? Even you who fishes every day, you still got to keep up with where the bite is.
Yeah.
Or the bite could be on fire. Like right before Hurricane Zeta that just came through. I had a phenomenal trip right before it came through. Went back to the same spot a week later and poof.
Yeah.
You know, you got to check it out. It's the last place you fished.
Yeah.
You catch fish there, you got to go back and see what's going on.
That's how it always goes for me. I hear people, they're catching fish at blah, blah, blah spot. You get there and it's like 2 days later and they're not there. I'm like, what?
Hard head.
You're a week late.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Or you show up at the wrong time.
I grabbed that order for him. We were both over here drinking. I felt like an ass, man.
Yeah. Shit. He's got one.
Okay. I was like sitting, I'm like, damn, how rude can we be?
But I want you to explain this for me, because a lot of people don't know where the Biloxi Marsh is. When you hear Biloxi Marsh, you think it's in Biloxi, right? But it's nowhere close to Biloxi.
No, so literally on a clear day from Cat Island, or let me rephrase that. From the very outside island in the Biloxi Marsh, which is Isla Petrie,
right? You
can look across and you can see Cat Island 7 miles away. People are like, there's no way we're in Louisiana. I'm like, we're in Louisiana.
Yeah.
Like it's right there.
It's no difference really.
No. So
get caught with the wrong license and figure it out real quick.
Exactly.
Yeah, that was all going into the next question.
Yeah. So we have to have a charter guide non-resident license for Louisiana. Then we have to have a transfer license to bring our fish back to Mississippi.
Ooh.
For anybody that doesn't know, you cannot stop in Mississippi and fish.
Right.
You got to go straight to the dock.
Yeah.
If a rod hits the water.
So if you have a Louisiana limit, you can't stop. You
No.
can't fish Illapete and go to Cat Island and fish because now you're illegal. You got to go straight back to the dock.
Straight back to the dock.
Well, you're saying if the rod hits the water, so it doesn't even matter how much you catch, you're saying you got to go straight back? Is that the rule?
Yeah. So if you have Louisiana limit size fish.
Right.
So
okay. I got you. Okay. I misunderstood.
So say you go to Louisiana, you catch 15 inch trout and you got 2 guys on the boat. You can still go back to Mississippi and fish because you're still legal in Mississippi.
But as soon as you put one of them 12 inches in there,
that's it, baby.
Then the ball game changes.
That's it. Straight back to the dock.
Get it to the dock.
Yeah. So, that can be, I guess, tricky for some folks. Is where do you want to go fish?
Yeah.
Even me as a charter guy, do I want to go to Louisiana or do I want to stay in Mississippi? It's if I'm catching them local, I'm going to stay local. It's just
shorter run, fuel. That's a better on everybody.
And then you get into what does the customer want to do? We have some folks that want to just go catch a big shark.
Mm-hmm.
We'll set up all day and catch a big shark. We have some folks that say, "Hey, strictly trout. If I can't do the trout, I don't want to go." Yeah. And then some people are like, "Hey, I just want to go catch redfish." Then you get folks that just say, "I just want to go." Yeah. Whatever we end up with, that's great. And I'm like, all right, cool.
Just along for a ride. That's probably your best trip.
Man, my best.
Because there's no pressure.
Yeah. Or the trips are like, man, can we bring some beer? I'm like, absolutely.
Bring a lot.
Yeah.
Bring a lot of beer. Yeah.
Yeah. Just if we're catching fish, don't drink. Keep catching.
Yeah.
So.
Well, the different styles, and I'll just tell you from my perspective, is when we go to the Biloxi Marsh, it's usually underbirds, double rigging, popping corks, running trolling motor all day. And then when you come back into Illapete, floating croakers are waiting. But then when you get to Cat Island, it's a little different fishing, right?
Man, every place that I fish, from leaving the harbor in Mississippi to going way down in the marsh 30 miles from the harbor, I fished each spot different.
Yeah.
Each spot is differently fished. It all depends on the structure that you're fishing. Are you fishing grass? Are you fishing a shell bottom? Are you fishing oyster shells? What's the current doing? What's the tide doing? What's the bait doing?
Yeah.
What do the fish want? Sometimes we'll pull up, throw nothing but plastic, bam, 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 bam. Sometimes you throw plastic, they don't want it. In that same specific spot, you start throwing a live croaker on bottom, and they just destroy
them out.
But you got to know where you're going to throw live bait and where you're going to throw plastic. Going into the marsh, fishing inside the marsh, you don't want to use live shrimp. You can throw 500 million of them and you're going to run out.
Damn.
Yeah. The gaff top's going to eat them all.
Yeah, gaff tops, hard heads. So you want to just throw plastic, man. That's the way to go. And color is a big deal, and the weight of your jig head.
Yeah, way it moves and where it goes in a water column.
Yeah. So if you're throwing a quarter, I've had it happen. I've done this before just to try it out with some clients. I had one guy throwing a 1/4 ounce and one throwing a 3/8. One was catching hard heads and ladyfish. One was catching trout.
Yeah, because the trout usually get on bot. They usually get underneath them.
They're going to get underneath.
Yeah, the hard heads and the ladyfish are going to be up top eating just whatever junk it is, and the trout's going to be usually the bigger trout's really deep, hanging on to the bottom.
We got in the comments, Gene says, tell him hi from the Fat Boys in Biloxi.
Oh, hey.
Old Gene Brady?
Yeah. And then Clarence in the comments, he says, what's up? So what's up, Clarence, man? Good to see y'all checking in.
That's good stuff, man. It's good that we can bring you in, and we're going to try to branch out over more to y'all's area. Because like I said, we've pretty much got the just on the Biloxi Ocean Springs fleet, and now we're trying to get the Pascal Bay St. Louis guys.
Yeah. So, you talk about having that opportunity to go to Louisiana and to Mississippi. And it's like, man, some days the water is gorgeous in both places, and there's bait in both places. And you're like, the way I do it is trial and error. Where do I have the most success in getting my clients on some good fish? That's at the end of the day, that's whatever they want to do to make them happy is what I'm going to do.
Does it going back to what you mentioned earlier though about the license? Did that add a little bit of extra cost for y'all to carry not just the 6-pack license? You're saying,
Yeah.
right? You got how many more was it than just say a normal guy out of Biloxi would have?
So you have your Mississippi license,
Right?
Okay, and then we have our transfer license from the state of Mississippi.
So
we have
that
to
would be
pay
an extra
for.
one, correct?
Yeah, but it's not a bad one.
Okay.
And then the killer for us is the non-resident charter guide license
For Louisiana, right?
For Louisiana.
Yeah, that one's probably stiff.
Yeah, it's pretty stiff. It takes you on average 4 to 5 trips
to pay it back.
To break even with that.
Break down what Mississippi residents need for as far as licenses compared to what Louisiana needs.
So, believe it or not, whenever they fish with us, they're covered under our license.
Oh, even in Louisiana?
No.
Yeah,
they have. Okay, so if we leave Mississippi and we go out fishing in Louisiana, they have to have it's a non-resident 3-day charter pass.
Right. That's where they get you.
Yeah. So it's only a $10. It's a $10 3-day pass. So it's pretty sweet if you got a trip with some guys that want to go to Louisiana for 3 days straight. It's $10.
That ain't bad.
Go buy a Texas non-resident hunting license.
Yeah.
Or come over here and try to buy a Mississippi non-resident.
Yeah.
We get them back on the hunting license.
Not
So,
cheap, man.
Man, I was just having a conversation this morning with Captain Sonny Schindler from Short Thing Charters, and we were having a conversation about licensing, and unfortunately it's a battle.
Right.
It shouldn't be that much of a battle for some fishermen, because it's not like we're making a killing all year round.
Breaking the bank,
Yeah. So get it figured out.
Yeah.
So
we usually start with this question, but how did you get your start in the game? What's your background prior to all this?
Yeah, we skipped about 8 questions.
That's all right. We got to mix it up. The viewers will get bored if we keep rolling with the same questions everywhere.
All right. So I've done oil and gas since I was 18.
Okay.
I worked offshore. I worked deep water. I worked on the shelf. I got the opportunity to go to West Texas. I worked in West Texas oil and gas as a control room operator. And most of these places, just a production operator in general. Worked in New Mexico for a little bit. And then I got the opportunity to come home in charter. So I did that. And with the help of some other guides, the guys really they helped me out, and I started chartering full time about a year ago.
Okay.
Yeah. So
did you get your feet wet as a deckhand, or did you just go straight into chartering?
So let me back up, I guess, some more. I've always fished since I was a kid, man. Right. I love it. I used to ride my bike. We live like a mile from the beach. Mm-hmm. Grab my fishing pole, my tag, little bait
normal
shrimp.
Regular kid stuff. Before video games.
Yeah.
I was gonna say 80s and 90s kids, maybe. Nowadays I don't know.
Go down to the seawall, go fishing. I've always loved it. Bought my first little flatboat when I was 16, did a little bit of fishing, it broke, and then, got my money built up as a young adult, bought me another boat, fishing. And then one day I was like, man, I want a guide, I just want a guide. So I did it part-time for a while I was working in oil and gas. And then, here I am doing full-time. And, man, I've been blessed. I've been extremely fortunate just thus far, the amount of clientele and the amount of trips that I've ran. Like I said, with the help of some other guides, it's been awesome, man.
Did you say how long you've been in business? Did I miss that?
So this is my second year.
Second full year.
Yeah, second full year.
Sweet.
Yeah. So
that's kind of like a common theme, though. We hear a lot of guys that's been on the show so far is oil and gas.
Yeah.
And then they decide, kind of want to you're gone a lot in that industry, right?
Yeah.
And they decide, like, look, I want to spend a little more time at home.
Yeah.
Starts out typically part-time, and then they make that transition into the full-time gig, which I got to imagine is like not easy to do, right? Because you're leaving good, solid money, good, solid career to take a gamble on
in hopes.
Yeah.
In hope I can catch fish.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, make a business out of it, right? Yeah. What was that like?
It's still a struggle. Okay.
Nail
you
biter,
got that big
right?
boat to pay for.
Yeah. The boat is an expense.
And the bank doesn't forget you own it.
No. everything else that I
or
own.
that you rent it from them. Is a better way to put it.
Right. Yeah. So it's a big void to fill, and you got to make a decision. Am I going to keep living this lifestyle, or am I going to trim back, or what am I going to do? I think the industry of fishing is going to kind of determine that. And, I have some other irons in the pot that I want to get going. And
for sure.
Yeah, have some, I'm always talking about passive income.
Right.
What mailbox money,
which is a myth.
Yeah. We try to get that mailbox money.
Yeah.
Too.
So what can, I don't know. I'm a grinder. So I want to know, what can I do to make more money? What can I do to have that passive income, whether it be rental property or own an ice machine or,
all things I've looked into.
Myself, it's the same old stuff. Yeah, we've all done that.
So,
but it's a lot of hard work up front to get mailbox money. So people out there listening, you know what I mean? You got to put in the work. And then, on the back end, if you cross your T's, dot your I's, you have that. But like you say, grinding and putting in the work up front.
Yeah.
So.
And that's the thing is, having the money to do that, to establish all these things that you want to do that are going to make you passive income.
Right.
And being patient with it, I think is a big deal. But like they say, nothing worth having comes easy. So
correct.
That's right. And as a charter boat captain, you got a lot of upkeep anyway. You got boat maintenance, you got rod and reels, a brake, you got all that other stuff that you got to pay for.
Yeah. And it happens, man. I've broken poles in half.
Yeah.
On one trip particular, I broke 2 poles in half, stripped out the gears on 2 reels. It was just crazy.
No,
and
that was some great fishing that day, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
It was some amazing. The bite was on.
Yeah. It was some amazing fishing, but it's like, man, you get home and you're like, all right, now I got to fix all this.
Yeah,
I've had days where the boat's broken, fishing bowls are broken.
Mm-hmm.
I actually had one particular trip. We're in some kind of rough conditions, and we're catching trout, so we're not leaving it. We stay where we're at, and I look in the front, and my trolling motor is about to rip off. I don't know, somehow or another, the bracket it sits on had a crack in it.
Sweet.
And I was like, look, guys, we got to go.
Yeah.
I stayed up till midnight fixing it,
mm-hmm.
and then I had to be up at 4 a.m. to be down at the dock for a trip. But man, that's what it takes.
Yeah.
It's not just a cakewalk.
No, it's your business and your brand.
Duct tape it and get back out there. Huh?
Yeah, well, and that's hit the nail on the head. It's our brand. It's what we do. You got to take pride in it.
Yeah.
And you got to love it. You got to be able to be good to people even on those bad days. Whenever you're like, man, I don't even want to talk to nobody.
Yeah.
I'm not catching fish, boat broke, and I still got to be hot.
4 hours
of
sleep.
Have a good time.
I want to go home, take a nap, kind of stuff.
Yeah. Famous quote. We all hear it. Man, y'all are living the life. And it's like, it is nice. It's a beautiful view. It's fun to do, but it's stressful whenever you're not catching fish. Whenever people are doing stuff that you ask them not to do to your equipment.
Yes.
Rods out the rod holder.
Yeah.
Well, you got to figure, like, running a charter, like you said, great view, everything. But to think that it's the same thing as if you go out on a boat with
hanging
your
out
family
with your
or your friends
yeah.
or just booze cruising it ain't the same thing. And I've never chartered a boat in my life, been the captain of a charter boat in my life, but I can definitely tell I've been on enough charters and I've fished myself enough to know that's work, man. It ain't just
man.
a walk in the park.
Yeah, so it is. It's work, and then keeping up with your schedule, keeping up with your clients.
Yeah.
You want to give everybody the same amount of attention. You want to be able to let everybody know that it's a personal thing and that, hey, you're coming on a trip with me. I want to treat you right, and I want you to know that I care about your experience.
Right.
But there's some days where we're running, and then they show up, and you're like, hey, what's your name again?
Yeah.
It's like, so you try to kind of balance it out. But you got to grind whenever you can grind and make the money.
Yeah, especially with the weather.
Yeah. Oh, man, the weather will get you.
Yeah.
Quick. And then, we have trips where people are like, I want to go regardless.
You say that.
No, you don't.
Yeah.
You say that.
Sometimes it's hard not to just prove a point, take them outside the wall of the harbor.
All right,
But-
can we turn it around?
Yeah, but I don't, and I never will, because just liability
Yeah,
purposes. But
safety
it's
purposes.
like, man, if you see waves crashing over that wall right there,
You don't want to go on the other side.
I don't care whose boat you're in.
Yeah.
It's not going to be enjoyable.
I would hope that was some out of town guy who's not familiar with the boat,
Man,
with water at all.
It always is.
Okay.
Yeah,
Makes me feel
it's never local. Man, if I love all my local guys before
Yeah.
I say this.
Yeah, go
but
ahead. Fire away.
yeah, so if a rain cloud pops up, they're like, oh yeah, we're just gonna cancel and come next time. They're like, we don't, because they know what to expect. They've been there, they've been
on Cat Island when them squalls come across, and they know
Yeah,
they know what it's like.
Yeah.
Yeah. But just as far as fishing in general, I'm kind of switching gears, but the main things that I look for just as a guide, my daily fishing, I'm looking at the tide.
Yeah.
Tide plays a big part. If the tide's not moving,
It's gonna be tough.
I'm 95% sure you're not coming back with much.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say you're not going to catch fish, but you're probably not going to catch much. So tide, and then structure, man, it's so big. Are you fishing a grass bed? Are you fishing a reef? Are you fishing a shell bank? Oysters? Are you fishing a hump somewhere?
Yeah.
And then bait, bait, salinity.
Which has been
Water
pretty hard,
clarity.
at least on our end.
Salinity's been bad.
Well,
bad
because we only
lately.
had
87,000 feet of rain.
Yeah. So our guys down there that we use for our B&W bait shop, man, they do a phenomenal job. These guys, they take so much pride in their work that they literally would come in and recirc water. They would bring in extra tanks of water so that they could keep bait alive for us while we were dealing with the fresh water.
Yeah.
Damn.
So like once you get out 3 to 4 miles, you were good.
All right.
But the water was so fresh in.
You couldn't run your live wells.
No, you couldn't
do any
run
of that.
nothing. Yeah. So, I mean, these guys work so hard to get us some live bait, and they keep us rolling.
They pretty much feed all the pass fleet.
Yeah. Pretty much everybody in the pass goes to them. So, I'd say that 70% of my trips are live bait. And then getting into the winter months, we're moving to plastic.
Yeah.
We might bring some live bait, depending on where we're going.
Just tough to find in those winter months.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, the B&W bait guys, man, they keep us hooked up pretty much all
They got
winter.
the secret spot. Huh?
Well, Joe, we've heard it's hard to get bait. Personal experience plus the people that we talk to on the show. So these guys must be doing something different because
So
Kenny's talking about how bad it was for him trying to get bait over in Ocean Springs.
Yeah.
I mean,
we've and I can't remember these guys' names, but some guys from over that way, they've came and gotten bait in the mornings, and then having to drive back. One of the guys was like, man, I'm ready for it to be somebody else's turn to come get bait. So, we're blessed on that side of things. We typically I wouldn't say all year, but most of the year we have bait. And we have that option. So, you spend the money on the bait, have it on board. If you use it, great. If not, oh well.
Yeah.
Save it for the next trip.
Yeah, bring it back, put it in the pen, tie it to the pier, and throw it overboard.
Yeah,
Save it for the next
if
trip.
need be, but we have all those options.
Mhm.
I have a good friend that fishes out of Hopedale, and he's like, "Hey, man, if I meet you halfway, on the water, can you have some of them croaker?" And on a rare occasion, I'll bring up some croaker, but so it's a hot commodity to have them. Sometimes
doubt.
that's all they want.
So what is the distance between when you hear Louisiana, you hear Hopedale, Delacroix? That's I guess on the outside of the Biloxi Marsh, right? You can get to it through that.
That's actually on the very inside. If I had a map, I would show you.
Right,
but
it's all jacked up.
Yeah. So, Hopedale, Delacroix, all that. That's all inside the marsh.
Right.
So like wintertime fishing down there is phenomenal. It's insane.
Do y'all run that far?
Nah.
Okay.
We don't ever run that far.
I was about to say that's probably a good run.
So we move in from the outside of the marsh. We move in quite a bit, not too far. And then we'll even go. I'll fish like LaFrancis area, the Wrigley's.
Yeah.
Natural
gas rigs, stuff like that.
Yeah. And then man, sometimes I've even slipped up in the Wrigley's and just seen some birds diving on some shrimp and caught a limit just as quick as you can snap a finger. Pretty much if you get on a reef and you see birds diving on some shrimp,
trout's gonna be there.
Yeah, 9 times out of 10 you're gonna catch some. Not to say you're gonna catch a limit, but And I've had trips where I've rode around all day long just searching for fish. And finally right there at the end, clean house, I mean, and not every day is going to be a knock it out of the park. Some people are like, oh, he's a charter guide, so we should go just, they're in a barrel down there.
Right.
It's not.
We're going to go pick the barrel up.
Yeah.
It's not how it works.
Not how it works.
But speaking of fish, we do got these pictures that we loaded up here. First one I'm going to flash on the screen. I think you said it's pretty recent since Ida, right? Is the speckled trout? The big one?
Yeah,
So
that 24-inch, man.
Boom, look at that right there. Yeah,
Yes.
that's a fine fish.
Beautiful trout.
What's the story behind that? Y'all were just out scouting?
So,
what's the numbers you caught on? Where specifically?
GPS coordinates?
Yeah, so me and Captain Lloyd, he fishes out of the pass area as well. We were like, man, let's go take a little ride. Let's go check things out, just see what's going on after Hurricane Ida. And we had some live bait that we picked up, and we fished this particular spot. Funny thing, we only had 2 live croaker, and we had a bunch of shrimp. Well, that fish was caught on a live croaker.
That's what them big sows want.
Yeah. So first we thought it was a redfish, and then bam, we were like, holy cow. So we run across quite a few of those in the summer months.
Yeah.
Those big sow trout. On occasion, if it's right, Chandelier is full of them. Every cast, you'll be reeling them big ones.
Usually in them holes.
Yeah, but
stacked up.
People see these trips sometimes, and they're like, "That's going to be my trip." Not necessarily.
Yeah, it all depends on conditions.
That's 1 in every 3 weeks.
Right.
Okay. It's not it's so sometimes it's like, all right, are we giving unrealistic expectations to people on some of these trips? And then some days we'll go a whole week and we're just knocking it out of the park. It really just depends on the fish. It's not that we don't know where to go necessarily.
Right.
We know where we need to be fishing and we know what we need to be doing, but if the fish aren't biting, they just aren't biting.
Right.
So
you can do. What do you guarantee the experience, but you can't guarantee the fish?
That's
right?
it, man. Yeah, we guarantee a good time, and we go out, we have fun, and we do our best. I promise you, if you don't catch a lot of fish with me, I probably burned $150 in fuel trying to find them.
You got your money worth.
Yeah,
for sure.
Well, let's show. Speaking of catching them though, this what do we have here? This is the big monster redfish. Yeah.
Is that pretty much y'all's money fish over that way?
No, believe it or
monster.
not, speckled trout.
Really?
Yeah, speckled trout is our big time fish. I do know where to go catch some redfish.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I don't remember what this last one was. Oh, that's that ghost looking.
That's that way. That's that clear water.
Yeah,
that's a
that's
beautiful
right
fish.
That's your Chandelier special right there.
Yeah.
Get into the type of trips that you run. Is it strictly from boat? Do you do any wading, or how does that work?
I do offer wade fishing at Cat Island, within like a 3-month gap of the year, because they're only there really good for about 3 months.
Right.
So we'll do that, and it's fun. It's a blast.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Wade
I bet it's a lot more work on you though.
No, it's really not. So the kicker is I only take experienced wade fishermen.
Okay.
Oh, that's a good clause.
Yeah, that makes sense.
If you're not experienced with it, I'm sorry, can't take you.
Right.
It's way too much of a liability, and it's way too much work. I can't be sitting there trying to fix your rod and reel or throw your pole for you walking. I'm not following you around the water to do that. So experienced clients only for the wade fishing there. Okay. So we'll wade fish at Cat Island. We do a 5-hour trip in the morning or the afternoon for trout fishing, redfish, sheepshead. We run into some white trout here and there. Yeah, flounder. So that can be morning or afternoon. Then we have what we consider a full day trip, which is an 8-hour trip. We typically run those on our deeper trips. Yeah. But if somebody's like, hey, I want to go run around in the marsh for a full day trip, hey, that's great too.
Yeah.
We'll do that. But full day is typically your Chandelier Islands deal. And then every once in a blue moon, depending on weather, we do snapper during the season.
So, now y'all are a little different from where we're at. Y'all, the FHs are a little farther away. Where do y'all run for y'all snapper?
We gotta head east. So we're running southeast is the same, pretty much the same local reefs that the other guys are.
So FH2, FH1, y'all fishing all those. It's just a bigger run for y'all.
Yep, all your state waters. And then one of my favorite trips is the Floundering Trip.
Yeah, now you're talking my
that's-
language.
Yeah, so man, I've had trips. We'll go out for 3 to 4 hours and gig 30. However many people I got, we'll gig a limit, and then we'll go out sometimes gig 10, 15, maybe even a little less than that every now and then. But for the most part, on average, you're looking at around 10.
Yeah.
But I'm very particular about that trip. If the wind's not right and the water's not right,
You waste your time anyway.
I'm not going.
Yeah.
And I'm not taking your money for it because,
Right.
this
You're not
is
going to be able to see anything.
yeah. And this is at the end of the day, is what I tell people. You might get mad at me if I tell you no,
Mhm.
but this is my business and this is my name.
Yeah.
So
What are y'all using underwater lights, LEDs?
yeah. So coastal floundering lights. Man, them guys, they hook it up. So that's who I use for my floundering lights.
Now
They're phenomenal.
That trip's a little spooky for people who've never done that before, right?
So we'll get into that. But first off, I've had, and it's no big deal, but it's a question that I have to ask now moving forward. I've had people with some medical history.
Mm-hmm.
Not that you can't have medical history and do it, but it is a very it's work. Like you're walking miles.
Right.
So whenever we pull up to the island, we have to anchor out and we have to walk.
Right.
And you got to walk about 100 yards into the bank, okay? And then
in the pitch black
with your little light that you're not going to be able to see nothing with until you get in about a foot of water.
Mhm.
Right. So it's a little spooky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little spooky.
So, okay. And then you get up there and you better have on bug spray because if not, you're going to get
The yellow
carried away.
You up.
Oh, yeah. So, and then from there, you start your journey. You start your night. And it's like, if you're not capable of doing so, then people that like to drink and fish, that's great. I love to drink and fish too.
Don't drink a flounder.
You're not
You ain't
drinking
gonna drink it.
Yeah.
No, that's not going to do it.
No, you're not going to drink a flounder. You need to be focused for one.
You drink and vomit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for two, you will have the worst cotton mouth of your life.
There's no doubt.
Whenever you get back, you're
especially when you're pulling 10 or 12
Oh,
flounder behind
dude.
you on a stringer.
So-
Well, you use stringers or bait net? What do you use? Buckets?
So I use a stringer.
Yeah.
I make it easy for the guys or gals, whoever's with me. I go out, they'll stick, and I'll come put them on a stringer,
Okay.
and they just keep.
So you're
walking.
hauling the load.
Yeah, I'm just hauling the load for them. They, make it enjoyable. It's fun. So we'll flounder and then we'll head back. And then walking in the water after it's pitch black is,
Yeah.
At the end of the trip, some people aren't a big fan of it. Them little needlefish. Oh man, they get people every trip.
Yeah.
As soon as you see that boat, you see them getting faster and faster and faster and faster.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden they're on the
Yeah.
boat. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like drag your feet.
Yeah.
Especially this time of the year, we're getting into
Stingrays.
the rays are they're getting thick.
Yeah.
And the little babies,
Mhm.
man, they're aggravating. But I actually have a floundering trip tomorrow night. So I'm pretty excited about that. We got
That's
a
gonna be
rising,
sweet.
we got a rising tide starting tomorrow afternoon. So
How do you juggle that? Will you do a day trip and then go do a night trip on top of that, and then a day the next day, or do you have to?
Yeah, I do. And really, it's tough.
Yeah, I bet.
You got to find time for a nap somewhere.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
So you just kind of grind it out, man.
Woo.
You go do your floundering, you get home at about midnight. You take the quickest shower of your life.
Yeah.
You sleep for a few hours.
4 a.m, you said.
Yeah.
Woo.
Haul down to the harbor. Be bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, and let it rip till you get
Little
back.
Coffee or something. What do we
Yeah,
got?
coffee.
Jesus.
Coffee.
Monster, Red Bull. We gotta do
Coffee,
something.
man.
Yeah.
I'm telling.
Yeah.
Look, if I get more than 7 hours of sleep a day, it's over.
Well, I feel like a piece of shit.
I don't want to fillet 30 flounder.
Dude,
I do
look,
not want to. It takes a special person to want to do that.
This is my thing. This is what I try to do. If they're local people or they're staying a couple days, I'll be like, hey, man, can we come back and lunch and clean your flounder so I don't have to clean for 2 hours?
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Is that how y'all usually do it? How do y'all do it? Depends on if they're going to stuff them or fillet them.
right. So I'll go as far, if they're going to stuff them, I'll go as far as cutting the head off and I'll scale them for them. And then they can do the rest of the work from there. But filleting is pretty time consuming.
Yeah. What's your client mix like? We always ask this question. So you're over in the past. Is it locals? What's the split percentage on that? And where you think you're pulling from?
Man, a lot of really not that many locals.
Right.
That's what everybody says.
Yeah, no, it's mainly out of town.
Are they staying in Bay St. Louis and coming over?
Yeah,
staying
so
in the pass where they?
I've had Bay St. Louis, I've had Pass, I've had Gulfport, I've had Biloxi.
Okay.
Really?
That's staying all over the place.
Think the casinos have a lot to do with that?
A little bit,
Yeah.
yeah. I've had a few clients stay at casinos.
What's the Slippers in Bay St. Louis, right?
Yes.
So I wonder if you're getting pulled over from over
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
Yeah. So I need to start out more.
Yeah.
My woman's always like, you got to ask, and I mean,
and where they heard about you.
Yeah,
from,
she's
you
on
need to print
point.
a flyer out and be like, before you get on the boat, please fill this out.
How did you hear about me? It's great marketing skill.
Correct.
Yeah.
But we get so busy.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
you,
you ain't worried about
you
that.
got a ton of shit on your plate to be
Yeah,
thinking about.
yeah. We get so busy in the summer. Look, it's kind of funny. This is a funny thing that happened to me. This guy is fighting a big jack on one of my trips, and it was a big jack. They're fun to catch, and it was a local guy, so he's done it. He's caught him. He just wanted to catch one. I was so busy. This pole had almost ran out of line, and I didn't get a chance to re-spool it because, you get hung up, or it keeps getting shorter. So
all of a sudden, you start seeing that spool and be like, that's probably not good.
So I'm helping another client, and all I hear is bzzz,
gone.
And I was like, man, that was pretty quick. And I was like, what happened? He was like, man, there ain't no more line on this pole.
I got about 30 foot of line on it.
Yeah, I was like, oh man, I felt really bad. I was like, dude, I'm really sorry about that. That's on me.
Yeah.
But it happens, man.
It's mistakes, man. It happens all the time.
Busy.
At the end, charter boat captains, they fish a lot and they know the terror, but you're not a magician, and no charter boat is a magician. You're still at the
mercy of the elements, the fish, the bite,
and you can't make them. You can't make them eat. You can't do that.
You're at the mercy of the fish.
Yeah,
right.
We man, if we could bless every trip with a box full of fish.
I'd be willing to bet though that most people, regardless where they caught or not, even the guy like the bad day guys, still have a good time.
Absolutely, right? Absolutely, and that's the special thing about it is we have to do our part to make it fun and enjoyable, even on the bad days, because obviously we know not every day is guaranteed to be great. So we, do your best. And this is me talking to myself,
right?
Do your
tell
best.
Jokes, play good music,
get
the atmosphere going on the boat.
And look, sometimes I'm giving away a little trade secret here, but sometimes I'll give them my Bluetooth and be like, here, play music.
Ooh.
Oh yeah,
whatever you want, play it.
Tip of the day.
Yeah. I don't care. I don't care what you play.
Yeah.
And I don't care what you drink or whatever. Just don't get crazy on me. But
you're still in the water. You still got to be safe.
Yeah. And so I've never had to cut anybody off.
We'll come on there and break that rule.
Yeah.
We can do it.
I've had to make some executive decisions before, and I think every charter guide has, as far as what's right and what's wrong and keeping everybody safe.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we want to go out and have fun and make some freaking awesome memories, but at the same time, we have to remember that safety, especially on the water, is number one, and making that our priority.
So we always do this. So take us through a trip. We book what you wear.
All right. So you can, I do it through Facebook. I have so if you go to Facebook, you hit book now, it's simple.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you just go through the steps, you say what you want to book, or you can text me, call me. My phone number's everywhere.
Okay.
It's on every single thing. I like whenever people call and text because it gives me that personal time with them to get to know them a little bit before they book. And some people just go straight through and book.
Yeah.
So, you book your trip. I'll call you or text you. Hey, I'll get with you. Then I get on the phone with them and I tell them what all they need to bring as far as if they want to bring alcohol, if they want to bring food.
Yeah.
I provide a case of water on the boat for every trip. A case of water is there. Rod and reels are supplied. Bait supplied for you.
So basically what they want to eat and drink other than water.
That's it. And you hop, pull up, park right there next to the slip. We lower it down in the water and we go.
There it is.
Yeah. And then we go fish, have a good time, come back. I clean the catch. You can eat it at Shaggy's. You can bring it home. Whatever you want to do.
Do you suggest them bring ice chests or anything like that to bring the catch with?
Yeah. So we put it in gallon bags after the trip's over. but you know,
One little bitty ice chest
yeah,
would be pretty good.
one little bitty ice chest. I've had people show up with some huge. I'm
120 core.
I'm like,
What
hey,
are
man,
you gonna do with that?
yeah, we ain't going tuna fishing.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know what trip you booked, but it wasn't with me.
You ain't putting a body in that at the end of the day or
Yeah.
something. What the hell's going on here?
Yeah, well, some people get, I don't know how, but they'll think that we're going. They'll think that whenever they get back, they have to take the catch and clean it themselves. So they'll bring the big ice chest. And I'm
Yeah.
like, nah, you know, we take care of it.
What a nice surprise that is at the end of the
Man,
day.
I'm
You
telling
need to tell me
you.
you're gonna clean these things
Yeah.
too.
That's
Oh, man.
To me, that would probably be
Worth the money.
one of the best parts
Yeah.
of the trip. Because
Yeah.
you're hanging out and probably some stuff that they've never seen before. Like
Yeah.
if you're not from here, you don't know how to clean a fish.
Yeah.
And then you're just hanging out, you know,
And-
enjoying some beverages and talking stories.
And you don't have to clean the boat.
And you don't have to clean
The
any
client,
of
that is.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I have local guys all the time that come fish with me. They have their own boats. They have their own stuff. They're totally capable of doing it.
We do the
But
same
but
thing.
it's like, yeah, I mean,
I'm not putting hours
Right.
on my new
Yeah,
motor
we
when I can
do.
put them on yours.
or you just, you know, you show up, have a good time, relax, man, enjoy yourself, and let us go through all
Well,
that stress.
now I will vouch for that because I have my own boat, and the only time I get to actually enjoy a beer or hang out on the water is when somebody else is driving, which is
Yeah.
very rarely. So I could see how that guy's like, hey, you know what? When I got to go to Ship Island and fish, I got to pile 18 kids,
Yeah.
and 20
Right.
tents. I can just go
Yeah.
with you and let you drive me around.
So speaking of, I offer a booze cruise, is what I call it, or a sunset cruise. You know, it's on a bay boat. It's not on a tiki bar boat with 500 people.
Beer gets cold on a bay boat.
Absolutely.
So it's a personal trip for you and your friends, you and your family, whatever. Here's the aux cord. Bring
Right.
your beer.
Right.
It's $100 an hour. Literally,
Yeah.
you're paying for me to take you wherever within weather restriction.
Right.
But I offer that. I've had a few people do it. A lot of people are interested in going to see the Cat Island houses.
Yeah.
Or they just
They
want
just
to
built a new one out
Yeah.
there, too.
yeah, or they just want to go take a little river ride. Or they just want to literally idle and just drink and hang out.
Around
and
here,
talk.
there's a lot of dolphin cruise, you know what I'm saying, where they go
Yeah.
find dolphin and let
Yeah.
them watch that.
So it's not really my most popular trip, but I do offer it for
Right.
people to,
yeah, why wouldn't you?
you know. So
Yeah, so if you're not fishing, you can just go enjoy a couple cold beverages and watch the sun go down.
80% of the time I'm on my boat, that's what we're doing. Is
Yeah.
idling and
yeah.
going to Deer Island. I mean,
Well, you know, even for like you guys, y'all have your own boat. We're out there daily chasing fish.
Right.
So we kind of we sometimes, not all the time, but
right.
we sometimes
more than the novice who ain't out there.
yeah. So we have a leg up, so to speak.
100%.
It's, you know, it's kind of worth it.
Yeah.
To,
Yeah.
It's worth
to
the
jump on the boat with
cost of the
us.
trip.
Now,
for
did-
sure.
how much teamwork do y'all pull together for that past fleet?
Man, it's a lot. Everybody's awesome.
Yeah.
Seriously, I'm not just saying that because I'm on air.
Right.
We all really work together pretty well. Everybody's kind of, you know, hey, do you have a trip today? Because I'm booked, but here's these folks here.
Right.
Man, that's daily.
Yeah. Where'd you had luck here, had luck here?
Yeah. And if, you know, say you're struggling, and I've had this happen numerous times, and I've talked to other guides and be like, hey man, you know, I'm kind of struggling right now. Can you give me a hand? And they're like, yeah, man, we started catching them over here. The bait moved it, you know. I've had that happen. And I think everybody has.
Yeah.
You
No
know,
doubt.
So it's a big family over
man,
there. as well.
it really is. I mean, I'm speaking for myself from my point of view. I don't know if anybody, you know, has any, but you know, in all seriousness, it's pretty much a big family. Everybody
Yeah.
works really well together. We're very fortunate with that. There's no backstabbing. There's no trying to undercut nobody.
Right.
It's honest.
Everybody's trying to eat.
The pie's
Yeah.
big enough. Everybody can have it.
That's
You
it, man.
know.
Everybody can have it. And then I think I've seen this in the past is your part-time guides kind of, in a way, they kind of slack off in the winter,
Mhm.
and then the full-time can still eat, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
So, and thankfully so. Nobody down there is really, they're not one-sided.
Right.
You know, it's not, it's a team.
Yeah.
We all have our own business. We all have our own goals and accomplishments that we'd like to meet. And we all want to grow our business. But at the end of the day, we're all we're all friends.
Where do you?
Yeah.
That's a good segue. Where do you hope to see yourself moving forward? You've been in about a year and a half.
Man.
You said full time. So what's
Yeah.
the goal?
So my goal, man, I can't spill the beans yet.
No,
but-
don't give any
yeah,
trade
don't give
secrets.
me-
No.
no
But
secrets.
be vague. Yeah.
Yeah. So my goal is to keep growing this thing. I would like to at some point get a couple of awesome guys
Yes.
to run with me
Correct.
and have a couple different boats. But you want to find your personality in someone else.
Right.
It's like giving
Which is tough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you want to. It's like giving the keys to your car to somebody and saying, "Hey, treat it exactly how I treat it on a
Mhm.
daily
And
basis."
that's very, very tough, especially on the water, because you don't know.
Yeah.
y-
So-
you run your trip the way you want it to be 100%, and
Yeah.
you know nobody can copy that.
Yep.
Right.
But I think not setting the expectations too high, just saying, "Hey, man, at the end of the day, whether you catch fish or not, be great to these people.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Be a good person." But so my goal is also to branch off into the deeper water stuff.
Okay.
I'm seeing some attention there.
Yeah.
A market need.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm seeing a good little market need heading a little bit deeper. So my goal is to maybe get something a little bit bigger in the
Gotcha.
future.
Bump offshore a
Yeah,
little bit.
yeah, bump
Yeah.
offshore a little bit. Keep the boat I got and maybe venture off, go a little bit bigger here and there.
That's the problem with a boat. Even with your boat, it's a pretty big boat. Everybody wants
Gotta get
a
a
bigger
bigger.
one.
We're gonna need a bigger
Man,
boat.
yeah.
We're gonna need a bigger boat.
Always needs to be bigger.
It's a sickness.
Like I
It
couldn't
really is.
imagine. I would love to ask one of the guys that have like the 40 footers. And stuff.
The big
Like-
48-foot Freeman or 46-foot Freeman. Hey,
Yeah.
man, what you think? I want that 52 or something
Oh,
like
yeah.
that.
No doubt.
I want
Or
them
bigger
to make,
engine or something.
Yeah, they're like, I want them to make me a 250-foot day boat, please.
Yeah, I want a coal barge.
Right.
That we can fish off of.
That's it, man.
Yeah.
Well, dude, we appreciate you coming
Yeah,
all the way over, making the
absolutely.
drive, and coming and talk to us, Captain Brennan Carter with Rough Water Charters, man.
But before we jump off, I want to. Do you
Absolutely.
have your own merch? Because you brought us some
Yeah,
shirts that
man.
are absolutely.
So this is one of my polos.
yeah, let me
Yeah,
grab
you got
this
it.
one over here.
Yeah, so I'm trying to build a brand, man.
Hell yeah.
Rough water fishing. And so real quick, this right here.
Yeah,
one
flash
of-
that on the screen.
Yeah, one of my hats.
There it is.
Okay.
Yep.
And
That's a nice
then-
hat.
Yeah, man. Richardson's the only way to go.
That's it.
And then I have these rough water fishing shirts right here.
Sweet.
It's just a performance shirt.
That's nice, though.
Man, they do great in the sun.
Yes.
They,
yeah.
as you can see, my hair is black up here and it's blonde right here.
Yeah.
And then on the sleeve, we got outperform, overachieve, and that's on all my dry fits. And that's not, hey, I'm going out to outperform and overachieve other people.
Right.
That's, hey, I'm going to go out today, regardless of what I'm doing, and I'm going to do better. And
Love it.
I'm going to try to outperform and overachieve what I've done in the past.
It's a personal thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
personal
man,
goal.
it's just a grind thing. You know, you're wanting to go out and you want to grind. It doesn't matter if you're fishing, if you're whatever. If you're trying to open up a business, it's so. You know, that's kind of what I'm standing for here is to
I love it.
outperform, overachieve.
I love
So
it.
Where can we find this at? Is this
Yeah.
on your Facebook page?
so it is on my Facebook page as of right now. It's a small thing, so really I do it direct through me.
okay.
And then every now and then I'll do festivals and stuff of that nature.
Hell yeah.
So
Cool.
So it sounds to me like recapping, though. Facebook's the place to get in touch with you.
yeah, Facebook,
Buy merch, whatever.
Yep, and then I do have a website on Google.
Okay.
I have my website. I have Google
What's the website?
rough water at www.roughwatercharters.
Rough Water Charters.
There you
Yep,
go.
dot com, yeah.
There you go.
So,
Like I said, we appreciate you making it out
Yeah,
here,
man.
making the drive. Tell your friends about us. Send them over our way, and let's talk.
absolutely.
Yeah.
But I love what you're doing with the apparel. I love the philosophy. I think it's a great thing, man.
Thank you.
That's it.
So,
Thank you. Appreciate
Joey
it.
and I's got the mention real quick. The podcast people, you're going to hear this twice, but October the 2nd, we got the Sheepshead Showdown coming
Yep.
in D'Iberville.
We sending the flyers over to Pascal Shannon and Bay St.
Yeah.
Louis.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going
Yeah.
to be $1,500 giveaway on just the Sheepshead first place alone. What are we doing for second? I get the numbers all.
700. Yeah, 750, 500, and then we got we got a speckled trout category, redfish trout category, and triple tail, which is all gonna be 450, 150 second place. So there's a pile of money.
Yeah, first, second place there. We got a championship belt going to the first place Sheepshead
Yeah,
guy.
we're
Looks
gonna
like
look
a
like
wrestling belt.
wrestlers walking around.
Kids
man.
tournament, 12 and under. They don't even need to register. No cost to them.
They
First
get a
10,
belt too. Yeah,
First
they
10
get a belt
kids,
too.
right? Weigh a fish. Get a
No. First 10 places. So we're going to do places.
I'm sorry, I said that wrong. Yeah,
Yeah,
first
yeah.
10 places get a trophy, and the biggest sheep's head for the kids is going to get their own
little
miniature
Macho
size
Man belt.
WWE belt. And we
Yeah.
got a dive division for all those dive people out there. We need
That's
y'all to
it.
show up because the Louisiana boys are so far, and I know they got hit by Ida. We're going to see how that plays out, but I think
Yeah.
they're still coming over.
Oh, they are.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
are. I think they've got like 7 or 8
Yeah.
Louisiana boys and 3 or 4 Mississippi boys. So it's gonna be a good showing.
Always,
That's
and the
awesome.
dive team, dive division's got its own payout too, and we're
That's
not
right.
keeping any of that. So it's going to be a good time. The Butcher on Tucker's going to be out there cooking food. We're going to have music playing, through the live, the PA. It's,
Underneath the D'Iberville Bridge.
It's going to be a good time. We're going to be selling some beers. So if you're into that kind of thing, come check it out. So we appreciate y'all watching, and we'll see y'all on the next one, man.
That's it.